If you're watching this video, you have probably thought about becoming a nurse one day. Maybe you have someone in your family that is a nurse and you'd like to follow in their footsteps. Well, if you've thought about becoming a nurse, the one thing that is for certain is that you are a very caring and compassionate person. Nurses can do a variety of different things. They can work in your traditional hospitals or doctor's offices, but nurses can also work in the community. They can work for schools. And nurses will work with people of all ages, from the very old to the very young, and everything in between. But what is a day in the life of a nurse? As a practical nurse, you will use the latest in modern technology to assist you in your daily duties. You'll check your reports to determine what orders have been given, whether it is delivering a patient's medication, to checking a patient's vitals, to helping to feed a patient that perhaps can't feed themselves. You will check your patient's stomachs for pains or abnormalities. Listen to the sounds of a patient's lungs. Observe their patient's breathing rates. Give oxygen to patients. You'll be responsible for hanging and starting your patient's IVs. And you will do this throughout the day, checking on your patients regularly. You will work with the registered nurse to make sure that everybody is on the same page as far as the patient's care. And throughout the day, you will not only help take care of the patient's physical needs, you will also help to take care of their emotional and spiritual needs as well. Where can your career in nursing lead you? Once you've become a practical nurse, your next step could be to become a registered nurse. Now, a registered nurse is more involved in the planning and the decision-making of a patient's health care. If you continue your education beyond that, you could then get into many different specialty nursing practices. For instance, you could become a nurse that helps to develop nursing education programs. Or perhaps on the technology end of things, you could become a nurse that is an expert on the technology that is used in the healthcare field. You could even become a nurse that is involved with the research and scientific end of healthcare as well. You'll have the opportunity to go into a lot of different nursing environments to determine exactly which one is right for you. For instance, you might spend some time in a maternity ward, working with newborn babies and their families, and by the time that's done, you might say, this is what I want to do. Then you might go into a children's center with children that are very, very sick, and you might work with them and you might decide, this is where I would like to be. Or perhaps you might go and work in a nursing home and work with the elderly people in the final stages of their life, and you might determine that this is what I want to do. So as you can see, there are many opportunities within nursing, so it makes it a really exciting career field to get into. But no matter where you end up, and the opportunities really are endless, there's one thing that will always remain the same. You will always help people, and you will help to make a difference in the world.